Reverend Billy, please be quiet. You're at Mass. He'll be taking a collection later on, and it better be a silent one. He doesn't want to hear the rattling of coins.
Thank you, John. St. Malachy. Is that halo slipping a little bit off your head?
May I kiss your foot? It's okay.
It's slipping on
but it's okay.
those nights, those late nights with Richard Harris. It's starting to make it's going over the back. John asked me to bless this proceeding tonight. I would like to ask the fabulous unknown to come into the Q.E.D. club and fill the bodies and souls of these helpless sinners here sitting at these tables. We all shot too much, but we forgive each other in advance. Sometimes you're walking through that Walmart and your hand just kind of goes up and you just want to grab that shampoo. It's shaped like it's got curves. It's like that sex life you never had. There it is. At that moment, we ask the fabulous unknown to save our souls. And I started preaching in Times Square some 20-odd years ago, and they've been very odd years, with the Church of Stop Shopping singing around me, and we started identifying that something was missing, and we started calling it the fabulous unknown. So we'd be in front of the Disney store, belly aching about sweatshops and union busting and whatnot, lions with celebrity voices, all their sins, but we started feeling, we started intuiting, there's something in this concussion, in this Stonehenge of logos here that is Times Square. There's something that is here that is unannounced. We've come to call that the fabulous unknown. And we, pray after a fashion to the fabulous unknown. We danced. We sing wonderful songs. We dance on the counters of Starbucks. We go into J.P. Morgan Chase and moon the executives. Whatever we're doing, we ask for the protection of the fabulous unknown, even when we're in jail. It just turns out that our intuition, like some intuitions, we intuited something that is starting to prove to be true. Scientists just recently discovered that as much as 73% of everything around us that we consider reality is unknown. It's unnamed. It's full of some kind of subatomic whirlwind, I can't say it, Malachy. It's because of those sins. It's those late nights with Richard Harris, making it impossible for me to recite the name of God. So what you think of as reality, we got a lot of reality right here in Q.E.D., don't we? We have handsome strangers sitting next to us, kind of secretly rubbing thighs with us. We have whispering going on. We have all sorts of wishes and hopes for status and wealth and for good looks and youth. And we have all kinds of burgeoning ambitions here down in this modest Q.E.D. club. We've got Q.E.D. There's Richard Harris again, interrupting me. That's the NPR station in San Francisco. Anybody know that one? Anybody? Anybody been there? We prefer BAI. So it's turning out that all the stuff that you're calling reality is almost 3/4 this thing that scientists can weigh. They know it's there, but their evidence is circumstantial. However, they've proven that it's there, but they don't have a name for it. It doesn't have light. It's subatomic particles that don't have names, really. They call it darkness. That's pretty fucking original, isn't it? Darkness. They can't control it, can't own it, can't be there, can't take your clothes off and get a tan there. There's no way to use it, but it's almost, it's 3/4 of what we are. It's nothingness, it's unknownness. We call it fabulous. We call it fabulous. Why is that? When you're mostly out of control, when you're mostly made up of something you can't identify, when you're mostly without motives that make sense, when you're mostly in a nation state that makes no sense at all, it's run by either corrupt people or fearful idiots, when nothingness begins to make sense, when the people out on Times Square 20 years ago who were so full of stink, they were like walking compost heaps, and they were shouting, "You are doomed!" And it turns out they were absolutely right. That means we're at a point now where we can change as much as we suspect we must. Now, we've all been on the edge of a new kind of radicalism for quite some time, haven't we? Haven't we? That's something I'm seeing in everyone right now. Scratch the surface just a little bit. Get a little bit honest. You know, you're at a party, and then you're at the back of the party, in the kitchen of the party. And then you're under the table in the kitchen of the party. And you're like taking the beers from the surface of the table down to that place underneath there. And you're getting honest with somebody. And that person is getting honest with you. That person confesses that she or he is lost. Looking for something else. Looking for a way to have personal, direct action. Looking for a way to have affect. Not a career, not ambition, not status, good looks, wealth. No. To be present in a society that wants your presence. That, I think, is inside something we can't see yet, but is making itself more and more ever present. Nobody knows where birth comes from. Nobody explained death. Nobody explained life. It's all a mystery. We pretend it isn't. We layer it over with narratives, gods, etc. Halos. Actually, we have very little explanation for what's going on, and we are yearning for meaning in our own lives. We go to the fabulous unknown. Hey! 3/4 of everything. The concrete, the dog shit, the clouds, the sign out front, everything is 3/4 what can't be recorded, owned, copyrighted. The fabulous unknown is probably where we were. When we were born, that's where we came from. When we die, that's where we return to. We can't say what it is. What a wonderful thing. We know we're minutes or months or years away from the earth turning the culture completely upside down. We won't be comedians and opera stars. It'll be the same thing. We won't be Chevrolets and roller skates. It'll be exactly the same thing. All the categories will mesh together. Existence will change utterly. Language will change utterly. That moment is fast arriving. You know it is. We all sense it. And that's part of our yearning for meaning, for a new kind of meaning that doesn't come from one of the categories of the arts, or health, or music, or walking the dog. We're on the edge of something big here, folks. But it turns out we're on the edge, we're on the cliff's edge of this subatomic whirlwind that we can't name. And maybe, just maybe, it is revealing these monster storms, the 900 fires in Canada out of control. All kinds of things have no explanation right now. We throw phrases like climate change at it. Does that satisfy you? Climate change, that generic phrase? That's like black beans on a can. Climate change. No, let's credit it. Let's give it something. Let's reach out to it. The sixth extinction is now underway. And it's got unknown all over it. It's got all kinds of things that scientists can't explain. It's happening every day. Now the war is covering it up. We prefer the information of war to the information of the sixth extinction. You can't really slide the sixth extinction in between two advertisements. You can't do it. It's hard. You can't monetize what's about to happen. That's no problem for me. I've never been able to fucking monetize anything in my entire life. Am I right? It's those late nights with Richard Harris.
We're going round and round.
Malachy, you know you're my hero,
Wait.
and you're my anti-hero, and you're my sideways hero,
Yeah.
and you are a part of the fabulous unknown, and we both know the devil.
Yeah.
We're on the edge of something, and I just want to remember, fabulous unknown, this was all a prayer. We're talking to you here in this silent darkness. We're hit people from New York, but we know something's going on. Doesn't quite fit in the arts section of the New York Times. We appeal to you, teach us, give us a sign. Let us join that extinction which we ourselves caused. Let us find a way to ride this wave of deviltry. The earth culture people, they tell us it might not be too late. That's enough for me. Somebody give me an earth-alleluia here today. Earth-alleluia! 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 Amen.